One day my brother was playing Resident Evil. I was like 4 years old, and that first zombie scared the hell out of me. But I also completely burned the whole image into my brain. Then later I found Zombies, the board game, and thought it was the coolest thing ever. Except I couldn't buy it because games like that weren't really known in my country, so I printed the whole thing myself. Destroyed basically all the printer, ink, then grabbed a giant sheet of paper and started drawing my own zombie city so I could play some homemade version of what I thought that game probably was. And somewhere around that time, I also remember a kid at school talking about the game where you run around a zombie city rescuing survivors, which turned out to be Left 4 Dead. At that point in my life, when I was maybe 7 or 8 years old, the idea of an open world city full of zombies where you had to rescue survivors and escape was something that completely fascinated me, and I keep trying to recreate that idea in basically anything I could. Then life happened. And by 2020, I decided I wanted to seriously learn how to make games, so I started learning programming while modeling was already something I was comfortable with because I had studied architecture. Before this project, I had already made a few short games built around quick sessions, timers, and urgency. So when I saw the theme of this game jam, You Can Save Them All, I got really excited because it instantly connected with the kind of game I already wanted to make. That's when Crazy Taxi came into my head as a reference. So on the first day, I spent a lot of time analyzing its level design, which is basically one big circuit field with small recognizable landmarks while also programming the player movement, the zombie, the rescue mechanic, and using a free card controller I found online. On the second day, I started building the map in Blender, beginning with the roads and then their terrain, and making the first gameplay test. After that, I started building the city itself. But since Blender isn't always the most precise tool for architectural work, I had to switch back and forth with SketchUp to make some of the buildings properly. By that point, I already had the rescue mechanic working, including taking survivors from one place to another, and my original solution was to guide the player with an arrow until I discovered that Crazy Taxi had a serious copyright history around that, to the point that even The Simpsons got sued over a similar system, so I had to be careful. Once I had the interiors going, I started polishing the mechanics like manual reloads and starting the car with a little minigame inspired by the active reload feel from Gears of War. Then I made an early test build, and for some reasons everything looked extremely dark, so I had to adapt a lot of the lighting around that. I also filled the map with references to some of my favorite buildings like Le Corbusier's Villa Savoye, the building from Edward Hopper's Nighthawks, and even the United States building. Partly because it appears on the Mega Discover, and also because Le Corbusier was involved in that design too. In the end, after submitting the game, I realized the map really wasn't optimized properly, and these days I've been learning how I could improve that using light maps, fusion pooling, and by splitting the map into many sections. It's something I'm still learning, but also something I really enjoy.